Hi, thanks for taking the time to watch this informative video on our summer missions trip in 2015. We're going to go to Providence, Rhode Island this summer. The date is August 2nd to the 7th. It would be a Sunday to a Friday. And the people that can go on it are sixth graders that are going into seventh grade in the fall, and 12th graders who've just graduated are all welcome to come on this trip. We'll be working alongside of a ministry called the Phillips Center. We have a missionary who was one of the founders of this ministry called the Phillips Center named Tim Zolker. He used to be a member of our church, went to Providence, Rhode Island, to Brown University to campus ministry, and then soon after that started this ministry of supporting local churches and evangelism, but also striving to do church planting in Providence. And one of the things that the Phillips Center does is a program called Summer Off. OFF stands for Outreach, Friends, and Faith. And they have 3 goals for their Summer Off program that we'll be joining in this summer. The first goal is to equip Christians for lifelong outreach. So the teens and the leaders, myself going on this trip, will be receiving training on how to share the gospel. The way I have explained it is they will help us to become saturated with the gospel, so wherever we go, we just drip gospel love and truth everywhere. The second goal is to actually do gospel outreach. So we'll be going into Providence to share the gospel verbally, but also with the way that we love the community and the acts of service that we'll be doing there, which I'll explain in a second. And thirdly, the vision is to plant local churches in Providence. Now, this ministry has been going on for a few years now. I think it's the 8th year that they're doing it this summer. And this year, all of their labor up to this point, all of their prayer to see a church plant happen has come to fruition. And this summer, they will be doing, or the end of the summer, in the early fall, they will be doing an actual church plant in Providence. So how beautiful is it that Stonehill and Westerly Road has been supporting the Summer Off program for so long. We're actually going to go and physically be there this summer with our youth ministry, and now they're going to actually see a church plant in Providence. The church is called West End Community Church. I just feel so honored and privileged to be a part of this. This summer we'll be working alongside the pastor who's planning the church as we do our community outreach. Now, what do we do with Summer Off? Well, in the morning time, we go into local community parks and basically for 3 hours in the morning put on a VBS where we are doing crafts with students, our children. We're putting on sport activities, playing soccer, playing music, just doing games, having fun, but also teaching them Bible verses, teaching them Bible stories, and it's all with the trajectory of sharing the gospel throughout the week. So students, as they're getting equipped how to share the gospel, they will be sharing the gospel on a daily basis. So it's just a wonderful program of we're going to not only do service in a community, but we're going to be sharing the gospel in the community, and we're going to be equipped with how to share the gospel for the rest of our lives. So the factors that go into a missions trip like this one this summer, I think are pretty unique for a summer youth missions trip. So I'm really excited and, again, privileged and honored to be able to bring our group on a trip such as this. So I said in the morning time we'll be doing the Summer Off VBS program, and then the local community, the children will come. They'll come in and jump into our games for free and just receive our love and fun. But also they get free lunch right after we're done our time with the students. So it's just totally multifaceted. In the afternoons, other than receiving training, we'll be going into the community. We have prayer walks scheduled. We have talked about going into a public school, painting classrooms, going to nursing homes, working alongside of this church plant, meeting and talking with the planner, the pastor planner. So this is just a really interesting trip. Students will be exposed to some really cool things for the kingdom of God. And then also there'll be an opportunity for us to visit local hot spots such as Brown University's campus, or go to the beach, or go to Gillette Stadium where professional sports teams play, like the New England Patriots. So there's also some fun stuff we'll be mixing into the trip as well. The cost is, if you're able to get your application in by June 28th, the cost of the trip is $375. And if you apply by July 12th, it goes up to $400. It's a $25 bump. So, yeah, and also if you have a family, of course, there's scholarships available for multiple people from the same family. There is mandatory training for all the students that are going and leaders that are going on July 18th. Now, when we get there, we'll be staying with the church Godspeed Fellowship. That's Tim Zolker's church. He's the pastor of Godspeed Fellowship. He's also the head of the Phillips Center Ministry. So Tim's going to be working personally with our church that week in the park. So that, again, is a privilege to have Tim work alongside of us that entire week. And we'll be staying with members of his church. But because we're doing it that way, we'll be saving money, but also now we're limited with how many people we can go. So we had to set a limit to 20 to 24 people that are able to go on this trip. So it's better if you're able to get your application in sooner than later. So lastly, the short-term goal of the trip is to equip students for lifelong evangelism, to build our team unity, to actually to exercise our spiritual gifts, to recognize and exercise our spiritual gifts, and also, of course, to share the gospel in Providence, Rhode Island. And there is a long-term goal and a long-term vision for the trip, and that's to bring the Summer Off program from Providence back to Central Jersey, whether that be in Princeton itself or even bring it to Trenton, and see if our youth ministry is able to collaborate with churches or church plants in Trenton. So this is a really cool opportunity for our church to get involved with this awesome vision, this awesome ministry. I hope that you prayerfully consider going on this trip or sending your children on this trip. If you have any questions at all, below this video there's a link to a more informative packet and also a permission slip. So if you have any other questions than that, feel free to contact me at any point. All right, thank you so much for your time.